A very good day to Dr. Nojita and my fellow friends. My name is Yong Chen, matrix number 284767. I'm going to present about Malaysian economy. Title is COVID-19, the impact on tourism sector in Malaysia. Introduction. The COVID-19 outbreak poses a major threat to the Visit Malaysia 2020 campaign, as 50% of Malaysian tourists came from Singapore and China. The rising number of COVID-19 cases in both countries has forced many tour operators to cancel trips, reducing Malaysian tourism. Next, the Malaysian Prime Minister announced the 4 phases of Movement Control Order, that is MCO, to fully contain the virus. The MCO prohibition will further strengthen Malaysia's tourism industry, so effective policies to assist industry players are required. The first point is closure of tourist sites to curb the spread of the COVID-19. The COVID-19 pandemic impacted the tourism business because to the travel restriction and decreased demand from tourists. As a result of the coronavirus outbreak, numerous countries have enacted travel bans. The rising number of COVID-19 cases in both nations has forced many tour operators to cancel trips to reducing Malaysia tourism. The MCO bans would further strengthen Malaysia's tourist industry, hence comprehensive regulation to add industry participants to require. The example of tourism destination is Langkawi. Iceland is one of Malaysian disaster-hit tourist destination because to an upsurge of COVID-19 cases. Many negative impacts follow the MCO pronouncement, affecting Langkawi inhabitants whose primary sources of income is tourism. So in Malaysia, the tourism sector lost about 45 billion ringgit Malaysia. The current loss suffered by the country tourism industry sector since March last year is estimated to reach 45 billion ringgit Malaysia following the COVID-19 pandemic. The second point is border routes are blocked for the entry of tourists. To curb the spread of this epidemic, the entry of tourists from abroad had to be blocked according to the time set by the government. This is due to have epidemic which had adverse effect and is difficult to see with the naked eye, causing any activity involving physical contact is reduced. In fact, with this restriction also not only affect tourists from abroad but also within the country. Domestic tourists are also forced to abide by movement control orders which resist any activity, especially in tourism, and result in human routines changing by almost 70%. The third point is unemployment occurs. Unemployment is an economic problem that shows the workers who are willing to work but do not get a job, not including the voluntary unemployed. Next, COVID-19 has impacted the tourism industry unable to operate normally. Companies will choose to lay off employees in order to minimize the cost, reduce expenses such as salary, company tax, etc. This has led to unemployment occur. So as we know, an unemployment rate of less than 4% indicates full unemployment. Since 1993, the Malaysian unemployment rate is below 4%. In 2020, the Malaysian unemployment rate is as high as 4.5% due to the pandemic of COVID-19. In relative terms, the number of unemployed increased by 39.9% to 711,000 people compared to the previous year. The tourism sector accounted for 39% of the total job losses recorded in March 2020. It is the highest proportion of any industry. Following by the fourth point is the decrease of economy's value, especially from tourism sector. When compared to industrialized countries, tourism may play a significant role in economic growth. Tourism development is seen as a means of generating jobs and revenues. Through commodities, commerce, and the import of capital goods, essential services, and manufacturing components of an economy, tourism boosts from foreign exchange revenues. The pattern indicates that tourism development has three sources of economic impacts, that is direct, indirect, and induced. So as you can see, tourism is one of Malaysia's most important businesses, accounting for 5.9% of the country's GDP and employing about a quarter of the country's entire workforce. It had intended to start the Visit Malaysia 2020 campaign with the goal of reaching 30 million visitor arrivals to better capitalize on this industry. However, the program has been cancelled because to the COVID-19 epidemic. Malaysia closed its border to foreign tourists and restricted access for non-residents in 2020, resulting in a decrease in tourist number. Tourism recipients had all but dried up, resulting in a major drop in earnings for tourism-related enterprise. Last but not least is demand for accommodation and hotel decrease. Postponement and cancellation of travel plans impacted by COVID-19. Most hotel bookings being cancelled are between 70 to 80%. The hotels have all been cleared by the World Health Organization according to government advice. Because of that, shared accommodation are not taking place in many regions. Many reservation refunds have been cancelled due to this COVID-19 situation. As a conclusion, this research evaluates the impacts of the COVID-19 epidemic on the Malaysian tourist business. Our study shows that the COVID-19 epidemic has negatively damaged Malaysia's tourism business as travelers from all over the world cancel bookings and postpone vacation plans owing to various fears. Also, the Malaysian government travel restriction and prohibition have reduced visitor numbers. The economic stimulus plan should help the tourist industry weather the storm. Thank you and have a good day.